Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, what's up, man?
Man, I have been looking forward to this all week. I can't believe the two guys you got coming on tonight, this podcast. This is crazy. I cannot wait, my man. I'm excited. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man. It only takes guys like us to get two guys from, two different parts of the basketball world to come together to talk about some very important I won't say issues, but news that's going on in New York, right? Then we get some updates of what's happening with a lot of the movements going on. And then talk to another one of our powerhouse coaches in New York that has been repping us throughout the city and throughout the country, man. So this is very exciting, man. I'm very excited today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. It's a great combination. A guy who is really connected to so many of the players and the coaches and the programs. And then another guy who's, trying to make history this season. So let's get this thing started, baby. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Let's go, baby. High School Basketball Weekly, baby. We here. Yo, I think Puff should change his name. We jumping on to because people know who's coming on to Wojciechowski, right? Wojciechowski retired. You know what I'm saying? Like people look at me and be like, "Yo, Pooh, you the new Talker Chelsea." I'm like, "Yo, bro, that's too much pressure." But I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I would rather be that than you calling me the gangster Talker Chelsea. A little inside joke by us, man.
Oh, man.
That you are so funny. You are so funny. But again, man, listen. Welcome to High School Basketball Weekly. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Hardy, with my co-host
Brian Reichert.
Who's still laughing? Yo, listen.
Wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. You got me right there.
Oh, man. Joining us tonight on High School Basketball Weekly in our 6th installment of the Coach's Corner, we have two special guests. Our first guest is one of the most sought-after graphic designers of all of high school basketball players and coaches in New York City. He has his pulse on the ever-changing transfer portal going on right now. Not only that he's a basketball super basketball head, pause. He's also the father of one of our city's toughest point guards and one of our favorites, right? And Soul Food, right? And come to think about it, they share the same name. So please welcome to the show, Daquan Bryant, aka Push Ba Puff.
My guys. Pooh, what's up, baby? Coach B, what's good, baby?
I'm good, man.
I'm good, my guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here, man.
Listen, this is the Shams of the city, baby. He breaking all the news. He keeping me involved. I'm telling you, you're keeping me in business, my man. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, man. I appreciate that, B. You know what I mean? I thought I was going to make it as a crazy dad, but you know what I mean?
Nah.
I got to give my guy Rock for that. I gave that title to Rock. Shout out my guy Rock.
Listen, we appreciate. We just want to bring you on because we appreciate you. We always talk about you on the pod. You are one of the guys in the city that have your posts on what's going on, and when people want to figure out, what's going on besides my page, they look at you and see who's moving throughout the city, and a lot of the guys that unfortunately not a lot of time won't get mentioned on my page or Brian page, right? You got some of those guys, but the majority guys that you be posting, I was saying to myself, okay, I got to check on him. Oh, Sanuki, I got to check on him. And I think that's what makes you a little bit stand out amongst all the clutter that goes on Instagram and things of that nature. And this is why we wanted to bring you up here amongst, you having some of the most exciting flyers. I want to shout out. I got to shout out my guy who always makes my stuff. My guy Tasha Rod, LT Graphics 100. But
shout out LT Graphics. Definitely has some good work.
Yeah, man. And look, let's just get to you, man. I just want to jump right into this, man. Like, when did you start to get it? Like, the graphic thing is your background?
Honestly, Pooh, is not. I was more of a video guy, doing videos more so. But honestly, I was at work one day and I was working on a machine, so I had some free time. So I'm just sitting on the machine, and at that time, I think Gio was going to Eagle Bronx. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a create a page that makes these announcements. And I'm like, nah, just announcements. Is like, how am I going to do it? Am I going to do it vocally? Am I going to have the kids say it? I'm like, you know what? Let me make posts. So you know what? I had about 6, 7 apps on my phone, and I sat on my machine for like an hour until I taught myself how to do the Photoshop as far as like switching the jerseys on to the kids, Whirlpool, and be like 6, 7 apps. Be just trial and error, trial and error, and it came out. You know what I mean? First, I only could do the jersey, so I will always put something at the bottom to cover the bottom part of the kids because I couldn't do it, So I just kept working on it, I did it free for a whole year. You know what I mean? The first year I did it, I did it totally for free. You know what I mean? Just putting myself out there and showing the love for the game. You know what I mean? Because it definitely has done a lot for my family. So but people started asking, and then they'll ask me like, how much you charge? I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. And they're like, what? You crazy? And the more time I spend on it, that's time away from the family. So, they're gonna want some results from it too. So that's where the charging more came from it. But yeah, just trial and error, Pool. You know what I mean? Just trying to just keep an imprint on the game. Daquan about to be out of here in a year as far as high school. So I just want to be able to stay around, stay relevant, because I love the game, especially the high school level.
No doubt. And before B go, yo, it was free, dog. It was free the first time go around. All right, let's kick my man that bread and make sure that he gets paid for what he's doing. All right,
yo, Pooh, funny thing, Pooh. When I joined you, I don't know if you remember, I sent you one. You was having and first thing you said, you was like, "What's the trick behind this?" I'm like, "Nah, ain't no trick. Pooh, this joint is free, man. I just want to show love." Word.
No doubt.
I was definitely anything I seen somebody was having an event or doing something, and they had like a regular fly. I'm like, nah, let me hook them up. Let me put that out there. So it's just showing love, man. And
feel free anytime, brother. Feel free anytime. We always gonna support, brother. Don't worry about that.
For sure. I appreciate that.
Now I gotta ask because I think you're a natural. I remember me liking some of the first stuff that you did, and I remember you were just working on the jerseys, and I talked to people. There's a guy I don't know if many people know. I don't even know if you ever heard of Joe Tipton, who does a lot of the edits for a lot of national players. But I almost see
I know Tipton.
Yeah, a lot of similar work with you, with a lot of the local athletes, which, is why you caught my attention right away. But, it takes a lot of creativity. I've seen you do with cartoons and you do stuff with coaches and everything. And you're really good at marketing. Where did this side like come out of? Because you said you're just kind of a video guy. You wanted to stay relevant,
I
but
can't hear
this
you, B.
is
We
gonna
lost.
be a niche,
We lost.
man.
I lost. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Paul.
All right.
Okay. I was just saying, like this is really
You back,
kind of
B?
become your niche, and
Yeah,
I still. I
you
can't
can't
hear
hear
him.
him?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
can't hear me. Okay,
Try to do it without your headphones.
All right, let me turn the headphones off.
no problem. Puff, can you hear me or no? Any luck, Puff, or no?
Yo, B.
Can you hear me or no?
Nah, I can hear you, Paul. I can't hear him.
Oh wow. I don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
B is on. I hear him. I hear him on my end.
Yeah, you can hear me, Pooh.
Yeah.
All right, you asked the questions. Man.
Did you hear him when you first came on?
Yeah. I heard him perfectly. It just
So
went
let's
out in the middle of
try
his
to go
question.
out and come back in real quick.
All right.
No doubt. Look, man, there's so many things going on right now. In New York City right now. Tomorrow, we will be at St. Francis Prep in
Oh,
Queens.
We
Oh
back. We
yes.
back, B. We good, B. I hear you.
you can hear me. You can hear me, Puff.
Yeah,
Got
we
me.
straight.
All right, I was just saying, just to wrap up a long question, but I really think you've hit on so many different things. You said you're just a videographer, but marketing, I really think you found your niche. How'd you get this kind of creative side out of you, Puff?
I always been creative,
Mm-hmm.
and I always like um just enhancing stuff. I see something, and if I see something that's never been done, that's where it's a lane. I
Yeah,
just like being where nobody else is. You know what I mean? Like, so I have
yeah.
my own lane. You know.
Well, you're dominating your lane, my friend. I think you're doing an awesome job with this stuff, and like you said, you've been creative for a while. But I'm dying. I got to skip. Like Pooh said, I'm so interested to hear your opinion. What do you think of all these kids moving around?
Um, I mean, if their next move is their best move, I love it. It
Yeah.
has to be for the right reasons. More than basketball, I'm hoping these moves are for, and I hope these coaches are going to deliver on what they promise these kids.
Mm.
That's the biggest thing. Just delivering what you promising these kids. Because obviously they want to come to you for a reason. If you don't have no room for them, if you can't help them, you got to let them know that and let them find somebody that can help them.
Mm.
And that goes for the kids also. Don't just go somewhere because that's the lit spot or you think you got a
Mm.
good chance of winning. Nah, that
Yo, he hit on something important.
Oh
He
man,
look, I've seen it not work. I've seen the transfer portal not work.
correct.
And I've seen it this year not work.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay. See, you want to move, and this is what happens when you move too soon
yeah,
or too late. This can happen. You could be stuck, right? People don't talk about the college transfer portals because you get a lot of guys and girls who are stuck in the transfer portal.
yeah. And
You know
don't
what
you
I'm saying?
think, Pooh? Don't you think that Puff nailed it with what he said about the hot choice? About how he said a lot of people are following the hot name, or like, hey, Jefferson's hot. Let's go to Jefferson. It's like, there's one ball, there's five spots.
and it's one name on a scholarship. Yeah, your team name don't go on that scholarship if that's your plan. You know what I mean? It's your name and your name only. It ain't just saying Thomas It ain't Thomas Jefferson basketball on that scholarship. It's you on that scholarship. So you gotta think about yourself, especially in your later years in high school. You gotta start being somewhat greedy.
Mm.
If this is what you want. It takes a little bit of greed to get to that next level, man. So I just wish the best of luck to everybody, coaches, players. Shout out to all the media, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of media heads out here and they doing a lot of coverage for free too. So if these guys start charging you players, man, don't be cheap. Y'all buying those at Mary's and they ain't doing nothing for your future. But I know a couple of these videographers, they getting millions of views that can help you out, even if it's just a little bit. So spend
And I,
That's a
wisely, man.
fact.
and I'm
That's a
telling you,
fact.
Puff, you never know who slides in the DMs or calls me and Pooh. I mean, coaches about players you would never ever dream of. checking in on have called me that I would never think of. So you never know.
Yeah, man. So look out for yourself, man. Make the best decisions, man. Not the best decision for your parents, even though your parents, of course, got a say in it, but it has to be the best decision for you. Best decision for you where you're going to be able to show your talents and get that diploma, you know? So we'll see, man.
Yeah, we definitely got our eyes and ears open on what's going on, man. Salute to Kwanski in the building. Salute, and the number one basketball head of them all, my guy Ayatollah Beats. Now, Puff, you're a hip hop head, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. You know that Styles P song, "My Life" with Queen's
Pharoah
Pharoah
Monch.
Monch. Yes,
Yeah.
my guy Ayatollah Beats is the producer of that.
Fire. Shout out.
And he from
Ayatollah.
Queens. Ain't from Queens. He live in
Big
Portland,
Queens.
Oregon right now.
Big Queens. That's what I'm talking about,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's dope. That's dope. So as
Yo,
we
Pooh,
see,
before you start,
go ahead.
my man Jamel, I don't know his last name, brown skin, dreads. He does art.
Paul.
I was
That
with
used
him
to
the
do
other
that
day.
to do the drawing back when I
I
first
was with him
started.
the other day. You know, I was in elementary school with him.
Word?
Word. So we linked. I seen him for the first time since then, not too long ago,
Wow.
and your name came up in the conversation. Word.
Salute
He
my
showed
guy
his
Jamel Powell. That's my bro right there. That's my little
facts.
bro
But
right
I
there.
sent him the link. So hopefully he come in. You know what I mean?
Yo, Jamel is a dope artist. He hit
Spoke
me up
highly
one
of you.
day. Yeah, he hit me
Spoke
up one
highly
day.
spoke highly of you and your grind. You know what I mean? Because he said he was there early. So
Facts.
to see your platform where it is now, he's definitely happy about that. Word.
Nah, that's my bro. That's my bro. I remember him calling me. It's like, yo, G, do you mind? It's like during the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
Everybody was stuck in the crib, and he wanted to make sure he kept his pen sharp, his pencil, whatever he was doing it with. And man, he turned out some awesome pictures for a lot of people, man. And
Yeah, he has some good work, man.
yeah. It's like, again, creative guys, right?
Yep.
You know, I started out with a phone, bro. I started with a phone, you know what I'm saying? You know, able to get my guy Brian on staff, my guy Five Films on staff, you know what I'm saying? And it's just been growing as well. And I see what you've been doing. And want to give a shout out to my guy. His name slips me, so I'm not gonna go there. My guy Guerrero, up in St. Ray's. That's who he is, our intern. So he'll be joining us during the season. When you see these kids transferring and it doesn't work out, which I know you have seen
A lot.
like, can you tell kids this may be the end of the road for their high school career? Because you know we say it all the time, but I don't think it gets through these kids' heads. Like, you know, you got one more year left, and you move it to another school because you don't want to compete with what's probably coming in, right?
Yeah.
It happens in college all the time, bro. I play D1 basketball. They're always bringing in more players, so you're gonna have to compete every year.
Yep. No matter where you go.
Yeah.
Do you see the dangers in that?
Yeah, if the proper research ain't done, definitely, man. And like we said, if it's for the wrong reasons, kids is gonna get a lot of rude awakenings. You know, you want to go to the hot spot. Yeah, that hot spot got a 7-8 man roster, 8 being generous, especially when the playoffs come. You know what I mean? You know, I was part of the Brooklyn Eagle family. You know what I mean? You know how Kev go. If you ain't that dog when it's needed, you can forget about playing. If you got an issue, that's your issue. You know what I mean? But these guys, these coaches want to win, and they're gonna play the players that's gonna put them in the best position to win. So if you're not ready to be that dog, if you're not ready to be in practice whipping your teammates' ass, it's gonna be
Yeah.
rough. It's gonna be rough, man.
Now, I got a question for you, Puff. Now, I know that you've probably had to make a couple drafts, maybe throw a couple of these pages out because maybe they didn't come true. Were there any over the past couple of years, any big names that you thought potentially were on the move, that you thought were moving but decided to either go somewhere else or stay home? Did you have any of those kind of rumors swirling that you thought were going to come true?
Yeah, I did. I did. I mean, I could say it. I thought it was a lot of rumors that Jada was leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Headed to St. Pat. So when I heard that, I did that quick. I ain't even mentioned no price. Boom, boom, boom. I had that done. Had that waiting. I might have even, you know what I mean, had put it on my page and scheduled it to post in a couple days.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, that was probably the biggest one. But it happens a lot,
Yeah.
but that's just part of the game.
Hey, that's how it is. I love it. I appreciate you being honest about the question. And yeah, there's so many different rumors. I'm sure you've come across so many different things where you're like, wow, this is about to go down. And then all of a sudden things change, real quick.
And when kids come and ask me for the what's the names, a lot of times I don't try to sway them, of course, because I don't have no horse in the race. But I do ask them like, "What's your reasons?" You
Yeah.
know, what's your reasons? So I mean, regardless of what they tell me, I'll tell them good luck. But I do ask a lot, like, what's your reasons? And some of the reasons be good, some of the reasons be blah, whatever. But it's just my job to do the work that they ask for.
Do you feel like it's a lot of kind of a team decision with parents, handlers, kind of that, or it's more of a straight up kid decision? What would you say maybe the percentages are 50-50 or different?
I think it goes by the talent level.
Yeah.
The more the talent level, you're gonna get a parent involved. Sometimes the higher the talent, the less the parent has saying it, and it's more of the handler.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Especially if
depends
you have
on,
such
I
a
think, the
wide reach.
caliber of the kid.
Mhm.
More people want their hands in it, whether they really have something to do with it or not. It's a lot of hands. It's my kid. It's my kid. So it's a lot of that. But yeah, I think it goes by the talent level.
Mm.
And some parents know that some the parents know if their kids is going to take it serious or not. They know if their kids just want to do it for the 4 years of high school. They might have plans. They might have a family business that they know their kid is playing for. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So those parents might be like, all right, kid, you can make whatever decision you make, but after high school, you know what it is. It's time to get to work.
Mm.
So it depends. It depends.
Well, I know one of the greatest stories in the transfer portal in the last couple of years was your son, right? Moved from Eagle Brooklyn to St. John's Prep. St. John's Prep, and won the city championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they
Shit,
won
remember
it
that
all.
even before that, Pool Taj leaving Eagle and going to
That's right. That's
Patrick
right.
School.
That's right with the Patrick School. But like that jump right there was him leaving out of the city, and we knew he was already going. He was already headed. Right. He was already gone.
Yeah.
He was already having schools look at him. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Soul Food was put in a position where it would have got a little rough over there because there was so many guards at the time, and he needed some space where he could grow and show
Yeah.
his game as a player, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
I think he is one of the greatest examples of that because, man, he went to St. John's Prep and they dominated that league and playing some good games, had a great schedule, right? That kind
Mm-hmm.
of helped build them. He went to a team that was already set and they needed him,
Yeah.
right? Just as much he needed to be there, they needed him. And they put
That
the
was the
ball in
most
his hand.
important. That was most important. That's what they told. That was the main thing. Like we need him over here. You know what I mean? We got all the pieces. We got the Ryans. We got the Pats. You know what I mean? We got the Jacobs, the Chichos, the Kills. You know what I mean? We just need that point guard, that leader. You know what I mean? I won't say leader because even in a role, I would say probably Jacob was our leader, but they just needed that general. To be able to get the ball to everybody. You know what I mean? And that's what he loves to do. So it was a no-brainer.
Well, I went to visit the school. I think they was our first. No, was it Holy Cross. They was our second stop. We went to Holy Cross first, then we went to St. John's Prep, and I saw him. Right, I saw him. He evolved into that leader. Right, and there was some passes. Man, he was throwing some dynamic passes, and some of the guys, because they got a lot of new pieces.
Yeah.
The ball was hitting them, and then they had his back, and I saw him. He was just like, I said, "Yo, stay patient, young brother, because as the season go along, they're gonna pick up on you and know you're gonna get them the ball, man."
Yeah, that's
So
one thing he's going to do. He's going to trust his teammates. He's going to trust his teammates, and That's what he's really using this preseason for, to really get the team, the new kids acclimated, and they're doing a great job. It's still a lot of work to do. We got a couple new bigs. A couple guards. So we're actually deeper than last year.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have as much star power, but we're deeper, and there's some real dogs out there. So still a lot of work to do. So we had a kid. Actually, one of our kids actually left. The shooter, he came over from Martin Luther, I want to say. Skaboka, I think his last name was. He ended up leaving and going to Brandeis, maybe one of them schools. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this season, man. It's gonna be a big season for Soul Food, man. He has his goals set. He knows what he wants to get out of this season. You know what I mean? He knows what he has to do to get ready for the next level.
Oh, and there's some coaches there watching them too, by the way.
Appreciate that.
I had to put that out there.
Now,
Appreciate that, man.
I got a two-parter. Are you going to be on the sidelines for the final year, filming and taking pictures, or are you going to be in the crowd? And then B, was it tough, for you, for Sofa, when you had to do that Ryan Edwards edit to Eagle? That's my question.
Yeah, that was tough. It was tough.
Yeah,
As you can
because
see,
I
it
know how
wasn't my
close
it,
they
it
are.
wasn't my best work. We gonna keep that on. That wasn't my best work. I said, let me throw something together for this kid, man. I can't believe he's leaving. But
Right,
it's
right.
definitely tough, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because outside of just basketball, those kids are real close friends.
yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, outside of basketball, so it didn't take a hit on a friendship, of course, but that's
Mm.
just another aspect that they had to, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, kind of the first time you're dealing with that, Puff. As the guy as a creator, kind of having to deal. One of your kids, real close
yeah, that
friends.
was that was
Oh,
definitely tough.
yeah.
Definitely tough. Definitely
Mm.
tough. I did that joint probably like in 10 minutes. Let me get that out here, man. Take that.
That's what
Or
I was thinking. I was like, man, he must have sped through that puppy real quick.
or
And
I
then
went to
what are you doing game day, Puff? You going to be taking pictures on the sidelines, or are you going to be in the crowd for this year?
when I'm recording, I try to get under the rim, man. I try to
Yeah,
get the best because I don't have I use my phone. So I don't
yeah,
have I don't have the like the fancy camera. I have one, but I don't use it. Like the fancy cameras
mm,
with the apps that do the slow motion and stuff. So my thing is angles.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And clarity. So yeah, I try to get as close as possible. I
Mm.
try to get as close as possible and get the angles. You know what I mean? I'm sure y'all see me laying sideways under the basket
That's what I
at
was
smart
figuring. I
ball.
didn't think you'd be
You
in the
know what I mean?
final one. I didn't think you'd be in the stands. I
That's a
figured
fact.
Word.
you'd be in the mix.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'll
Um,
definitely be there. I'm gonna be out definitely this weekend, man. It's a busy weekend. What y'all got planned this weekend? Where y'all gonna be?
Yeah,
good.
Friday night we're gonna be at St. Francis Prep for those two games, those two huge games. And then Saturday I'll be back there again.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll be there Friday and then Saturday. Me and Five Films, we gotta attend the Mac ball that they're having out there. They're
Okay,
Mm.
having
that's
a ball.
fire.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
man. You everywhere, Pooh,
Who's
man.
that?
Shout out, man.
Hey,
Shout out to you, man. Shout
No
out to
doubt.
you.
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate that. Look,
Word.
let's jump back into Queens real quick. Coach Mass in the building, sitting tight. Yeah, we see you, Pat. We see you. Uh, Queens, man. Do you think Queens, like far as on the PSL side, will be able to put themselves back in the mix as a whole? You got a couple of pieces that's still fighting and scratching to reclaim that dominance because I think the last time Queens won, maybe I think it was like 2015 or 14, something like that.
Hmm.
And then everything's kind of ran through Brooklyn. What do you see going on in Queens right now as a whole on the PSL side?
I think as far as Queens, I think a lot of teams right now is stuck on being the best in Queens. You know what I mean? A lot of teams got to get that under their belt before. I mean, anything is possible, but I think you have to have like a sort of a staple in your borough before you can even think about going up against them dogs out there in Brooklyn. I'm just gonna put it out there. Them, and of course the Bronx. You know what I mean? With Eagle and TMA and the crews like that. But I think a lot of Queens teams is focused on, like you said, Queens been down. You know what I mean? So this year is supposed to be like a resurgence in Queens. but I think a lot of teams is so focused on being the best in Queens that they can't even see further than that. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of hindrance is going to be with that. You know what I mean? You could kill Queens, but when the playoffs come, you come across a team from Brooklyn, it's different. That shit comes different. So I think only a couple teams have that mindset to where, all right, I could win Queens and I could also compete playoff time against other boroughs.
Yeah, because the saying is always, yeah, what about the teams in Queens? They'd be nah, they Queens good.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different dog when you're going against some other boroughs. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of moves this year in Brooklyn. I mean, in Queens. So hopefully we can make some noise, especially when it comes to playoff time. I know it's going to be a dog fight as far as fighting for Queens. You know what I mean? But I want to see us better than that. Yeah, win Queens, but also knock off a couple big names in the playoffs. Even if you don't win a championship, you know what I mean? It's a building process. You know what I mean? But don't just poke your chest out about winning Queens, and then we hit the playoffs and then we put up a stinker against another borough. You know what I mean? We gotta put our stamp. We need a signature win, and we ain't have that in years.
Yeah, I think Dion is doing something really good at Eagle Queens.
Definitely.
He has that's right, the Real Skills Camp.
My guy.
Right, the Real
Word.
Skills Camp where he getting the kids young, and hopefully he can start, moving some of that talent right into Eagle Queens.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. And that's what I see a lot of coaches, they getting a lot of AAU bodies in their building. You know what I mean? And then using that as a pipeline to get kids through. So it's a lot of ways you can build your team, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That phone book you gotta have some connections in there, man.
Telling
That
you,
transfer portal is real.
you're
You
becoming
can't
the
keep the kids.
Shams. You're becoming the Shams of NYC, dude. I'm telling you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm having fun. Like I said, I did it for a year without even thinking about getting money. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I hope you stick with it. I hope you stick with it, especially, I'm so excited about, your two guys this year. I think they're going to have great seasons and they're going to be fun to watch. And I know you're excited too. But
Definitely, man.
I got to admit, Puff, I got to tell you a real story. It sucks because every time I meet you, I have such a good time talking to you and a blast because you came out with a list back in the day of NYC media people. And you left me off of it, and it had me so motivated. I swear, I was so fired up. I think I wrote like 100 articles. I wrote like the best article about Taj Bryant I could ever write. Right, I was all over
Yeah, I
it.
appreciate you. You definitely show love. You showed a lot of love to
And I
Taj.
swear, I can't stand that you're good and awesome at what you do and a nice guy because it motivated me. And I swear, I wanted to hate you, but you're the best, man. So I appreciate you coming on.
A coach came up to me and told me that this summer. He's like, man, you put out that coaching list, man, and I ain't make the list, man. They wound up losing that game that he said it to me too. So I was like, yeah, you lost. You see what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? But yeah, I plan on bringing the list back. I should have been did it, but there was so much going on. But the list is definitely coming back, and y'all definitely making it, man.
No, for sure.
You
You show me love, so I ain't worried about that. Yo, B, get your weight up. B, get your weight up.
That's facts.
Come on,
Hey, listen,
man. Come on.
before you get out of here, because we got to bring Coach P on. Look, I spoke to a couple of people. I spoke to Aaron. I spoke to Dave, and a few others about doing this picture with all the media people, right? And I don't know if people know about the historical hip-hop picture and the historical jazz picture that was taken up in Harlem. And I think we do a lot of work for these kids. So hold on, let me see if I could get this up real quick so you can check it out.
I got an idea I want to bring across your table too. I'll send it to you in your DM. I don't want nobody to steal it.
There you go. There you go.
Nah, you know how that go.
Well, if somebody still is, I wouldn't care because it's gonna be all of us getting love, right? But definitely hit me up, Puff. I'm gonna send you my number.
I want to do it. I don't mind them stealing it after we do it. We just got to do it first. Nah, I mean,
no doubt.
Steal it.
No doubt. So this is the picture, right? Is the picture up in Harlem where those all famous jazz musicians, and then they did one in the 90s with all hip hop, right, artists.
That's tough.
And I think we all a lot of times we don't get our flowers. A lot of times people are behind the scenes. Most of the time, people don't even show their faces.
Yeah.
With what they're doing, they're always showing kids. So I think this would be a great media day
And it's
for
crazy
us.
because Harlem still looks like that too. So we could duplicate that picture perfectly.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So I'm putting it out there right now. We're definitely gonna be getting everyone together. Dave, you, Erin, she's gonna help me set it up. I also talked to Shay Days. You know what I'm saying? So
Shout out to the ladies.
no
They
doubt,
holding
no
it
doubt.
down. They holding it down.
That's a fact. Well, listen, brother. It's been fun having you on. This ain't the last time you're gonna be on. I'm gonna let you know that, right?
Oh
We
yeah,
gonna-
yeah. Some more. I need some more. Listen, man. Don't stop. Don't close the portal yet. I got two more afterpay payments on this giraffe I'm trying to buy. So keep
Let's
everything
go.
coming in. A pet giraffe I'm trying to get, Brian.
No
So I need
doubt,
that
no
portal to
doubt.
stay open.
BMF style. You're gonna have the giraffe walking up in the game
Fact.
with joints. He
That's
jump
fact.
off.
He's
At
in
the
the right
game.
place, man.
At
NYC
the
is
game.
transferring every day.
You know that's right. It ain't over. I know Jeff ain't done. I know that. I know that for sure.
Well, they better be ready December 3rd because they got the powerhouse who's up next. So we definitely gonna holler at
Yeah, shout out
Coach
Coach.
Pat.
Shout out Coach.
Yep.
Coach Pat, man. I'm the undercard, man. I'm to the big dog. Well, I appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks for
No
coming
doubt.
on, Paul. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay tuned in. I'm gonna
Salute
go head
your
over to
puff. I'm
YouTube.
gonna send you my number after I get off the show that we can holler, all right?
Yeah, definitely. Because the idea I got, we can get that into play ASAP because it's not happening and it's needed.
Bet.
Love.
All right.
All
All
right.
right, Pooh. All right, B. I appreciate y'all.
You good, my man.
No doubt. That was fun, man. We need to bring him on more often.
He's such a good guy, you know. I just like I said, I want to not like him, and I like him more every time.
That's
and I'm
right.
so excited for his two guys, man. They're gonna be awesome next year. I can't wait to see them.
That's right. Well, y'all know what time it is. Before we bring Coach Pat on, I gotta talk about this new product right here, Xbox Go, Xbox Chameleon. Let me get that straight so y'all can see it. Right? It's a new AR camera that we're promoting, one of our sponsors. Xbox Go is the ultimate hands-free tracking and recording system for over 10 team sports, including soccer, basketball, football, and so on and so forth. One tap is an effortless live streaming. You can live stream. You get instant highlights from here as well. And you also can get one player, right? You can just focus on one player. I think this is a great for games, but I think it's best served as a practice tool, especially for coaches, right? If you want to just coach and not worry about having a cameraman there, and the camera will follow the ball.
And listen,
I've
used the other services. You know, you half the time you're stuck, and the guy's doing a layup, and then it comes over, and you miss the whole thing. So it happens all the time, especially when you go and highlight one player. I think it makes a difference.
That's right. Xbox Go, the only way to go when you're recording the best highlights and team sports that you have. And over 10 of them. All right. We're going to get to Coach Pat in a few minutes right after this special broadcast. All right. Xbox Go, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go.
No doubt. Hey, Coach, our next guest, man.
This guy has wanted to be on the pod for a long time.
He's been hired from us, Coach. He's been hired from us.
He says he listens in the garage sometimes, so I appreciate that.
No doubt. Well, our next guest is a former high school basketball weekly coach of the year, 4-time city and state champion. He has produced 3 straight McDonald All-Americans and 33 student athletes to go on and play college athletics. If y'all don't know, he got more accolades. I put up a post the other day of all the accolades and all the highlights he's had since he's been there. Please, welcome to the show, Archbishop Stepinac head coach, Pat Massaroni.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Well, listen, before Pooh gets started, what'd you shoot today?
I was at that 88 today.
I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate that. Solid,
That's it.
solid.
With fundraising, sometimes you got to play well and not play well, to get the final verdict.
Attaboy. You know, Pooh, he even knows how to answer the golf lines. It's impressive.
Listen, I told Brian this before. I said, Brian, we need to do a fundraiser for kids, underprivileged kids. We bring all the best players and best coaches out to a golf course. That's something that B specialized in. And now I know that you play the game. I'm a putt guy, but I love to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a putt guy, but I love to play.
Why don't we do a little mini golf tournament? Might be more productive.
That would be awesome.
I like that.
That would be awesome.
We're throwing out new ideas left and right. New ideas.
Listen, that's what it's about. You got to put it in the air so it can happen. That's
it.
Coach, what was your summer like for you?
Yeah, look, we had a busy summer. I would say on a personal note, an opportunity to be with my wife and kids, with some extended family, with friends. I think that's a valuable piece. But for us and for my staff, Rodney Swain, Coach Swain, who's been with me from day one, right, for now 11 years, and myself, we've always said that summer is a time for development, not just for our players, but for us as a staff. We have a really busy summer. We do a total of 3 weeks of day camp, a night camp that we started, and we're around. I was down at Peach Jam. I was around to see our players across the country. That goes for my staff as well. Coach Al Shepard, Coach Alexis Nunez. We have alumni come back. I think that's one of the proudest highlights of the summer is when we had 20 plus guys that played for us and beyond. Come back and we stay busy. I think it's a balance of personal time, team growth, program growth, getting our guys better and being in the gym. Obviously, nothing is mandatory for our guys. That's just how it goes about. But I think when you want to be a high-level student athlete, we try to provide the resources for it. And I think we've been successful, Pooh and Brian, because relationships matter. And there's a lot of things to be proud of, but the biggest thing is that kids stay at Stepinac and graduate from Stepinac. And I think the off season is a big part of that. So summer was great. As people know, I love to golf. I love being around friends and family, around our guys, hanging out, all that good stuff, a little travel. Despite being half Irish, half Italian, I do like the beach as well. So it's and just trying to be a great dad. I think as my kids grow, especially my daughter, I'm just trying to be a great dad. And it was a busy summer, but a great one.
Yeah, and Coach, I think that's honestly almost to me enhanced how great you've been coaching is how much you've really dedicated to your family. I think it comes through your team. You guys have such a family atmosphere. But, we wanted to have you on the last couple of weeks, but you got to tell us, you were in Vegas coaching the Border League last week? I mean,
the New York,
you got to tell us about it.
The New York Crusaders were there. So Stepinac is not there.
It's that other team. It's the other powerhouse team that we have here that holds us down no matter where they go.
No, we had an opportunity, to go about and get invited to a preseason invitational, just like many of our programs do. I see guys play in Philly. Obviously, City is Mine has grown into something really fast. You got round ball. You got different events that are going on. And, I think it's an opportunity to work through some things. Your teams are not set. It's the off season. And I'm a big believer in that it does not matter if you win or lose. Whatever that Sunday in March is where we want to be. And that's what matters to us. And we have other team goals and individual goals that our guys want. But the Stepinac basketball brand, dating back to when it started, was to be a part of city championships. And I think we're motivated more than ever. Not going to sit here and hide under a rock. You know, we were one of 5 teams to now win 3 in a row, which is unbelievable. If you look back since early 1900s in the CHSAA, and nobody's done 4. If we're going to sit here and say that's not a target on our back or something that we're trying to achieve, I think we'd be lying. And in today's world of knowing certain things and not hiding, it's a goal that we'd like to do. And we know it takes a long process and a lot of things to go our way to get to where we want to get to. And I think having a really good preseason is key to that. And our guys have been working extremely hard in the weight room. We are big believers of running the track. And the best thing about this group is it's been player led. You know, you got Josiah, you got the twins, you got Dylan, Haas, go down to Coco, Amir, Drew, Patrice, 9 seniors. They do some things like, you know, on their own that makes them different and unique.
Listen, I told this one person I was gonna say this on air, right? And I hope he's listening. Having a conversation with a fellow basketball head, and you know, they was explaining, you know, said, you know, Stepinac doesn't, you know, come around and play, you know, other guys in the city. And I was like, yo, Pat every year throws a, you know, big game at the Westchester County Center, and he's always bringing PSL guys up there to play against the Catholic school guys. There's a lot that's going on. I said, and also you'll understand he scrimmages a lot of those guys as well, right? It's things that go on behind the scenes, and a lot of these guys ain't outside like myself and Brian, who's, you know, at all these games to see that. And then once I checked him, he was like, yo, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, because you got to keep getting into the streets and not listen to what other people are saying. When you hear things like that, and I know you guys don't listen to the chirps that going on, right? Y'all breathing that nice Westchester air up there, man. For me knowing that and me, you know, saying that on the show right now, what can you say to those people who don't feel like Stepinac is in the city and plays the schedule that everybody think they should play?
Yeah, so I'm going to answer that in a couple parts. We see everything, okay? We see everything. And before I got on, and I was listening behind, right in the background, I just want to say, like, we appreciate what you guys do and what so much local media do for our guys. And I will say that we have, you know, look, Hector, Moving Pictures, started with me 10 years ago. He was a volunteer to now he's shooting NBA guys and commercials, right? Incredible. And what you guys do and what everybody does, whether you shoot for an individual team, you shoot for the league, whatever it is, to give these kids and programs coverage. I remember being in high school, and I'm sure you guys could attest to this 15, 20 years ago. It was all newspapers.
That's a fact.
This was not here. This was not a thing, right? Yeah. Podcast, shows, digital content was not a thing. The programs that are not adapting are the ones leaving their student athletes and their kids in the rear. You know, on that. So we hear like they're ducking this, they're doing that. We see, right? And I'm going to say this because our guys are aware of it. There's a trending hashtag about me right now from a school in the PSAL. We got it. We have it, right? So you could say what you want about us. We play a local schedule. We play a New York City schedule. We didn't choose to be in White Plains and play in the New York City Catholic League. That's been since 1958, okay? So it's not like we went in there a couple years ago. We play in as much as we can to provide exposure locally and nationally for our student athletes. And that's what their parents care about. That's what our school supports is, and that's what we believe in. And I'll say this too, and it might ruffle some feathers here. The coaches that are not giving their kids exposure, playing in events, traveling, social media, whatever it might be, are doing a disservice to their kids. And I get you just had the man, right? You call him the Shams of breaking news. I bet you he would have less posts about kids leaving New York City if guys did more for their kids. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I will say it to people's faces. I think we have to do more in a time where the day and age of coverage and media is different. You guys know me. I'm pro media. I'll take the picture. Whatever you guys want to organize previously, I'll be the guy to take it. Everybody's welcome. If you cover New York City basketball, you're welcome. So people that think we're ducking whatever and we're not in New York City and we're not around, I mean, you guys saw our schedules out. We were one of the first teams in New York State, New York City to put it out. If somebody's going to challenge that, or a kid is questioning what we do, or a family, and there's some guys that do it. I just don't think there's enough in New York that do that right now. So
yeah, and they also throw in every time I put up my top 10, right? It's like, yo, but Stepinac and Westchester. I said, but they play in the city.
yeah.
Like, y'all got to get off that.
Yeah.
But they the other team. No, they're the number one team in the city. Till somebody beats them, holla at me, man.
And I'm with you, Pooh, on does winning matter? Brian and I talk about this a lot, right? Does winning matter anymore? Does it matter? And I don't know. Maybe not to some. Maybe not to some NIL deals. Maybe not to some coaches. I don't know. We still value winning and team. And I think when you win, everybody succeeds. Everybody eats. Everybody has success. And, I think that's why the best college programs get the best kids. It's why now NBA is forming super teams. Why do you think all these guys want to play with each other? Because they want to be around high-level talent and they want to win. And that's where we're a big believer. And I know you guys said it. A lot of places use the term family. I think when you preach it, you say it, and you act on it, there's a certain culture, and Stepinac in general, not just Stepinac basketball, Stepinac in general is a special place. And so are many other places that we just try to really incorporate that word when times are. And the best part about family is it's not always when it's nice. It's when times are bad too. You either got to stay together or figure out the differences.
And Coach, I'm dying to ask him. People are going to be stunned that I kind of started this way with all the big names you got. But, congratulations, Mr. Unstoppable, heading to Fordham. We're so proud of Hassan Karesi.
Yes, sir. Our
One
guy.
of our favorites.
I love the whistle. Love the whistle. Love the whistle.
Such a character. But, I reached out to you and you helped me kind of get in touch with Dylan Perry, and I wrote an article about him, and I got to kind of know him a little better. And I think he's a really impressive kid, and I think he's been a huge part, kind of under the radar. He's almost like Ben Little 2.0, like even maxed out more than him as a glue guy. It's been incredible. He stayed around. He's been a huge part. He kind of flies under the radar, like I said. How important has he been to the roster, the program, and everything at Stepinac?
Great
Yeah, I think you just mentioned two guys. Hassan Karesi, right? So happy for him. Him and Dylan, severely under-recruited. My wife is probably watching this live on Instagram Live right now. It drives her crazy that the two of them do not get enough. And it's not to – and even our guys, right? So you could say Josiah, Adonis, and Darius deserve, and rightfully so, get the national love. They even talk about those two that they – so Hassan, big time staying home, credit to his family. Obviously PSA Cardinals there and everything that he did. And I think they, Fordham keeping one home. It's been the critic of Fordham, not being able to keep people home. So, credit to him. But to answer your question, look, Dylan's he's a winner. He's a high academic student athlete. He's been on varsity now. I'll be there for 4 years. Him and his mom, they worked extremely hard. He's worked extremely hard. He gets better day in and day out. And I said this to them the other day, and I told our staff this. His recruitment won't get to the level he wants it probably to be, but he's going to go make somebody really happy at wherever he decides to go. And he's got a plethora of Division I offers on the table. He's taken some visits here in the last couple weekends. And without Dylan, we don't win last year. Like, let's talk about Dylan. The and one pass from Danny, okay? Huge. Then nobody gives him credit for because we had guys in foul trouble. He wasn't. We asked him to foul 3 times at 6'7" to get the clock where St. Raymond's couldn't get a shot off. So advancing the ball. And then the part of on the defensive end in overtime, without him, we don't get to the third title, and the best part of it is as much as it's natural for every kid to want attention, he just keeps working, he keeps getting better. And he's been a pleasure to coach, and hopefully he stays that way this year, and hopefully his future stays that way because he's going to be rewarded for, when in a non-sexy world of junkyard dog and toughness. isn't cool anymore. He's made it cool and will continue to make it cool. And that's why he's got full ride Division I offers on the table here from some really good schools.
I think when it's all said and done, when people look at what's going on in college basketball the next couple of years and see his name, floating around as one of the top players that's getting a lot of attention, it won't be no surprise to us, and I definitely know it won't be no surprise to you, Coach.
Yeah,
for sure. Why does Stepinac continue to not be affected by the crazy transfer portal? And what does that say about your program?
I think it starts with the overall school community, right? From our board of trustees to our school president, to our school leadership, our support staff, our guidance counselors, student athlete, academic advisors, and our teachers, right? I just think, and our athletic director, assistant AD, there's something about it. And then Pooh, it's got to be, my staff there's been continuity. So Swain from day one, Coach Al is going into year 6 or 7. Coach Nunez is, I believe, year 5, so 7 and 5. We've had the same lower level coaches. Our B team has won 2 championships in the last 5 years, right? It's continuity and relationships. In the end, they're kids, all right? They want the best. We want the best for them. 33 guys going on to play in college, and the best part about it is 30 of them have graduated. The other 3, had left early to go pursue college careers, but that's what's rewarding, life lessons and skills. And I think, Pooh, it's an opportunity here at Stepinac, like high-level skill development, high-character individuals. We have high-level academics, right? So you still have high, real school. There's a lot of academies and schools that are not teaching these kids life skills and academic skills. And I'll say it, right, across the country, it's not happening. I guess it's for the guys to answer, right? I was talking to Hector about this the other day. I'd love for him to just ask our guys why they never left, why guys didn't leave, why, from guys at the highest level, from RJ, Alan Griffin, Joel Soriano, Boogie, why did Josiah stay? They had opportunities to all go to the different leagues and different things, but they stayed. And I think we scheduled really hard. I think we put our guys on exposure, and we provided almost like a college-ready type program, from basketball to academics to social media to exposure, season ticket holders, digital streams. Things we're doing is preparing them for the next level. So why? That's what I think why. I love for the kids to tell you one day why. The fact we were able to return everybody from this group, or majority of everybody, and we do year in and year out, we must be doing something internally right, that the parents and families feel this way. Because if you don't think they're getting poached, they are. I know they are, so, and credit to my staff, man. We have relationships and we do what we do. And these kids entrust, and specifically their parents entrust what we do, and that's what it's about. So, and I think it goes back to, when you win, everybody thrives, and we value winning. So.
Yeah, my guy CK said, why leave a nationally ranked program?
Correct.
My guy CK upstate, always on the check-in.
And we've been in that locker room. We see those guys. Everybody's happy. Everyone's involved. And I want to ask another kind of player question, a little outside the box, because you kind of mentioned it. It's going to be a lot tougher this year, senior night, Coach. You better get prepared with those guys. You're going to be busy with those subs for sure. But talk about a kid like Jack Coco and the big guy and Amir Smith. Some quality guys who would play at a ton of other places and have gotten so much better in practice. Are college ready guys who could contribute. Every time I see Amir Smith at an AAU tournament, I get excited. Plays so hard. Great kid to watch. Same thing with Coco. And just talk about those kind of 3 guys really pushing the team and keeping the group together. Because another bunch of guys that could have left easily, and didn't.
Yeah, I think you hit it, Brian. I mean, those guys all could have left, and we didn't want any of them to leave, but they all could have. And in today's world, I mean, you think about, the 5 that we just talked about, but I think there's right? The remaining balance of guys that decided to stay. So you have Jack Coco, 4.0, 32 ACT. He's gone to Middlebury, Trinity, NYU, really high academic student athlete. You got Amir Smith, has just continued to get better and better. Now you have some local D2s and D3s that are, he's going to be visiting here in the next couple of weeks.
Good.
That have seen him at exposure events, at our open gyms, the CHSAA Senior Showcase. Patrice Paquant, 6'10". Patrice has lost close to 45 pounds in just about 18 months. Wow. He's just scratching the surface. He's behind potential, two really high-level basketball players in the Twins, and then you got Andrew Ray Rosario, another strong shooter guard for us, and the best part of those guys is they all won on our lower levels, right? They either won a freshman championship, a JV championship, could have left, but they're about the program. And then just the two non-seniors that I think we really need to talk about is obviously Jordan Archibald, the sophomore, who everybody told, don't go to Stepinac, you should leave, you're not going to play. And he is just getting better and better and better. And then Josh Rivera. Josh, 6'7", really high academic, top 80, top 90 junior in the class. Again, another one who could have left, but I think his parents and him trust what Stepinac's about and being around really high-level players. And for us to be good, we need all those guys, those returners, and whoever else we take in our program to go be successful. And I think not only did we not really lose anybody, okay, we didn't take – there's no transfers at Stepinac. Everybody that's here is part of our growth, our program. Our freshmen in JV had winning records. Freshmen went 22-3. It's the second out of the last 3 years, city title, right? They beat Iona out at Malloy in a great game. Our JV was in the quarterfinals. So it's about program. It's about development. And in today's world where everybody wants to be promised they're playing varsity. Brian, some of those seniors are not going to get a lot of minutes. Yeah. And I guarantee they're going to go be really good college basketball players at some level. And I know you believe in it. I know Pooh believes in it. And we do too. And so do their families. No.
Yeah, I was at I attended to the Isaiah Lewis and Trey Dickinson skills camp and saw that you guys have some incoming freshmen out there now that's going to be God, I'm telling you that this is just going to continue, man. What is the hardest part about your job when you have so many kids that want to play for Stepinac, but only a few can play at a time?
Yeah, Pooh, I think it's about being transparent. For my staff and I, for Swain and I, we've been about transparency. I think we are in a current state of basketball, right? Specifically high school basketball, specifically New York basketball, that we have a lot of false narratives. We have a lot of misinformation, but we also have a lot of grown men lying to kids. Okay. And
hold on, Coach.
Blow the whistle.
we call it the bad advice crew. He just hit it on the nail.
So we have a lot of people advising these kids the wrong information and their families. And I think we make it very clear what we're about. We're about growth. We're about development. I got an unbelievable staff when it comes to skill development. We balance out what we do. We have scouter reports, college level, analytics, breakdown, film. So why do guys want to come there? I think it's a balance of things, but I think we're very honest and we define roles. And as tough as I would say parents can be and have been and will continue to be, right? If you're honest with people, I think it limits issues. And I always say, if you need to leave or you want to leave and it's a better fit, I support you. We support you. We would even help you get to the next level. But always remember, the grass ain't always greener on that other side. I can tell you that. No, not always greener.
Yeah. And I'm going to let Pooh talk about his guy, JJ, over there. I'm going to let him ask the question, ask some certain questions. Coach, I've been so high and said some insane things about the Twins over the years. I'm sure I've gotten you in some trouble. I apologize for any of that, but I have such high expectations for these two kids, and they continue to just rise and meet the challenge. They look terrific. They look both healthy. Talk about how the Twins have kind of been ascending this summer and are going to probably have their best year for Stepinac yet.
Yeah, so knock on wood that obviously they have an amazing year. Currently, they're in Colorado Springs for the USA mini camp, which is a great achievement to them. But credit's got to be given to obviously their mom and dad and keeping them level-headed and focused. You never know they were NBA kids the way they play and act. Theo's about development. He's done an unbelievable job developing them. And if you think about him, he was an all-star in the NBA.
They don't play like that, right?
They don't play a little different. That, right? If people go back and watch, so they're a little different. But they got a chance to be special. I don't think schools are even seeing it because they were hurt a little bit. They were out a little bit. They missed a big portion of this AAU season in summer. But when they were out and they put on like 10 plus pounds of muscle, they are moving laterally. They are getting better. They've been great leaders for us. They are extremely skilled. And obviously they need some health on their side and some breaks to go their way, which I think when you work hard, you get rewarded for that. But credit to Theo and Christina and what they've done to keep them mature and level-headed. And the two of them, they're gym rats. They're gym basketball people. That's what they're about. And in a couple years, if I could tell you the three of us and some others will say we told you it when they were freshman or sophomore on the national level, that I think some guys are starting to realize. And I know, Brian, you put out what you put out on X and say it how it is. They got a chance. And the best part about them is, and they will tell you one day when on this show, they played freshman basketball. They got better. They needed it. They didn't need to play on varsity. They didn't need to be promised. They played limited minutes as a sophomore, and they're 2 top 60 players in the country. They got a chance to make a lot of money playing this game. It's okay to develop. It's okay to play lower level. It's okay to get better. That's what it's about. So, and to quote Darius, he goes, "We played freshman basketball, and we're getting recruited by the highest level of college basketball." So everybody runs their own race, and credit to, like I said, their family and to Theo, what he's done with them and how much they've gotten better. But they got a chance to be special. 7-footers that could shoot and handle it and play and guard and protect the rim. Not common in the game. So,
and I don't think that's ever happened in New York, period. This is gonna be history. This is gonna be one for the books right here. My guy, Josiah Jervis, man, he's a kid, that we've been following for a while now, and I told him last year when I came up with the preseason runs that he made the biggest jump out of all the kids I saw during that preseason runs, and see him kind of get better. But to see what he did at EYBL, and then me being down there at the MBPA Top 100 camp, I got to see him do it against the best day in and day out. And, I tell my audience and tell Brian and everybody, like, being at that camp kind of opened my eyes up to how now I have to look at our guys coming back in New York City, right? Mm-hmm. Because, of course, there's a big world out there, and there's a reason why you guys go around the country and play against the best. When you play against the best and you show that you are one of the best, there's no reason why you shouldn't be the best, right? Especially if you continue to do it at such a high level. What can you say about Josiah Jervis and his growth? And just, he's such a humble kid, man. I wish he'd just tell everybody that, yo, I just want him to sometimes just tell everybody, like, I'm the best, but he shows everybody, and I had Tiny on.
State is here.
Yo, I had listen, when I had Tiny on and we was talking about it, and I was kind of teed off for him not playing the way he should play in the New York versus New York. And I'm not saying that he didn't play. I just think he got shunned a little bit. And I was kind of peeved off about that. But then, again, having that conversation with my former point guard and him is kind of explaining maybe the game is not that kind of game is maybe not fit for him. But I said, as soon as he got in the game, he went down and he took it full court and dunked it on everybody. So what's the difference?
Yeah. I would say, look, he's like a silent assassin, and he's a tough dude from the Bronx. Raised by two great people, and a brother in his life that, like, he just works. We have workers, like we have blue collar dudes that love to be in the gym, and his biggest growth from year to year, like not playing a lot early freshman year. Then he came off the bench and won that city championship at St. John's post-COVID. Then his sophomore year growth. Then to be the postseason MVP last year. And now finally getting the national recognition. I mean, who goes from 91 to 50 in a 2-month period? Like, that's unheard of, right? But it's something we know, and I know, and my staff knows, and his peers know, but he's not a big, like, he's not TikToking 24/7, and he's not on social media, and he's not being followed around. Probably a little bit, might fault him as the world evolves.
Right.
He's getting there. His followers are growing, and he's figuring it out. But, like, he just works in silence. His workouts aren't filmed. He's just gotten better and better and better and better. And the biggest jump he's made from junior year to senior year, his leadership, and that's what people are going to see. He could score whatever he wants. He could do what he wants. But his leadership with the group we have and the collective, right, keeping – and there's going to be some rough patches. We're going to lose a game. We're not going undefeated. The schedule's too hard. But I don't know when the next rankings come out. On 3, right, they've got him 23. I think they figured it out, right? I think the rest are going to recognize it. I think they do see it already. Every coach we've had in our gym – some schools that have actually been in for other players that are like, man, we might have dropped the ball on this one. He's better than I thought. And he's got a chance to go be really special this year and next year and beyond playing this game. But Pooh, I know you and Brian have been on him for a long time. I know you've been a big believer. And you think he got better last year when you came in the beginning? That first step, trying to dunk on everybody. A dog. We got dogs up at school, and that's what it's about, So, and he's leading that charge. Might not look it, but he cut his hair. He's locked in. He's doing what he's doing as a senior, and he's got he's developed he's put on muscle, and he's taking it serious. And I think that's what it is. And credit to his mom and dad, and obviously the Wrens. He had an unbelievable year for them getting to the championship, and that's what it's about. But he could stay healthy and get some things to go his way, and he might not score it. So, like, if we're going to just name the New York Player of the Year on scoring, he's not going to lead the state in scoring, Pooh. We're too good. He's too good. He loves passing the ball, so he's not going to go nut. But I think that value winning should come into whoever gets those votes when it comes time at the end of the year.
Well, wait till you see my top 20. You'll see. It's coming out soon. I'm waiting for everybody to put out their stuff, and then – I'm dropping the official one, and mine's a little bit different because I do everyone, right? There's no just PSCL, Captain School League. No, if you the best, that's the one I'm going after.
I'm sure there'll be some undefeated keyboard social media on that. No.
We don't pay attention to them.
No.
And now, Coach, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but these guys are chasing history. We know there's a lot of added pressure. These guys know what they're doing. But, you're a fan of the league. We talk all the time. Who are some of the other players in the league that have kind of impressed you that you think might have a good year? And possibly a couple programs that you kind of see are on the rise in the Catholic League?
Yeah, I think our league continues to set the bar, locally, nationally. We always talk, you talk all the time, like other sports, how would you compare them across the country? And despite getting hit with the portal and everybody leaving, I still believe the CHSAA continues to have high-level talent, right? There's a plethora of Division I guys, high-level guys. You got really good returners. You got really good young players stepping into new roles. I think there's some players specifically in the league that are going to go prove a lot of people wrong. You just look at our side of the bridge. I mean, St. Raymond's, despite losing 2 really good players, they got a lot of talent back.
Definitely.
I don't think people are talking a lot enough about Cardinal Hayes. They were scary good last year, and Joe can coach. Despite him being half asleep on your show a couple weeks ago, he so Iona is going to be much better, there on our side of the bridge. And then Scanlon's got talent too, so, and then you look at the other side. I mean, you got CTK, you got St. Francis Prep, you got Naz they're going to be really good. Holy Cross, your boy Billy Pooh.
Yeah, I was just there the other day.
So, there's talent across the board. And, and this might get me a little trouble. Like when you start winning and you start doing things, I think you could start saying things, and, like until somebody wins 6 titles and takes down Mo Hicks or Joe Arbitello, how can you talk about either one of them? Like they have the most titles, until you beat, Jack Curran and Ron Niclario wins, like you can't say things about people. And I think as positive as social media is, and my staff and players watching this right now are probably laughing hysterically on Instagram Live or wherever they're watching. It's, I don't get why everybody talks so much, negativity or portrays certain things when you don't back it up. That's what it is. But I think the league is continuing to get better. You can laugh, Pooh. You can laugh.
No, because I know what you like. I know what you like in the locker room. People don't get to see that side of you. We know what you like in the locker room. And we know, look, if you talk that talk, you better be able to,
that's it.
Walk that walk.
Coach is ready.
And don't talk to me about July to October. Don't those records. There's no records there. Don't talk to me about that. So don't talk to my players about that. But Brian, I think the league's got some really good young talent. We need the league to continue to be good. I think our leadership, and Paul, Ray, Kevin, and Pete, are trying to think of different ways. We need to provide these kids exposure. Everybody needs to respect you guys and give you information and beyond, right? From Aaron to Heck to Shay to Dave to Quam, go down the list. And when you start naming people, you leave people out. So, but we got to provide you guys information to give these kids an opportunity and platform. And kids, you need to embrace it as well. That's what it's about. So I think the league's got a chance to be really good. It's almost, I'd rather go back to like 2017, 18 when we were the hunter. Being hunted is hard. We show up to some places. I'm like, wait, I just watched the last 4 games.
The Super Bowl, coach.
These people weren't here, and we show up on like a Tuesday or Sunday. I'm like, whoa, what, so, and I know Timmy said it a couple weeks ago. I mean, like, think about it. And Pooh knows this, Brian, you know this. I mean, we've had 3,000 plus people for 7 straight years come watch Stepinac Iona. We have sold out, gyms or full houses at Rose Hill. And, so there's opportunity and platform there. Come watch high level basketball for $5, $10, $15 and, or watch it on stream and support these kids. So I'm excited for the league. You saw I did not name one player. I don't want one kid to say I said one thing about him. There's really good players in the league. Right. And we know who they are, and we'll make sure we try to guard them as well as we can when that time comes.
Coach, we're gonna get you out of there soon, man. But I want to know.
I'm good. I mean, I could talk all night. I'm good. My kids are asleep. My wife's upstairs. Cool. I'm good. I'm in hoop season. There you go. We could be 20 more minutes, or you can cut me off.
Got you.
My friends who are gonna watch this are probably laughing because you haven't figured out I like to talk. So
no, it's all good. Who are some of the coaches that kind of inspired you on your come up?
Yeah, so first and foremost was a guy by the name of Matt Brady. I was a student manager at Marist. I was a manager before being a manager was cool. Now everywhere, we have a plethora of managers. They are amazing. Every college staff has 10 plus managers now. So it's a great way to be in the game. But Matt was somebody, and then he hired me as a GA at James Madison. So just a brilliant offensive mind. As his little quirks and different things. And, but he was one there, and then I've been a big believer and follower of guys that were like high school coaches that went on to be successful. Like I'm a big of that. some of the famous ones, you look at like Coach K, he's somebody that I admired, and obviously having AJ go play for him. We still text, we still talk. The first time I ever got a text from him, I kind of, you get shell shocked by those guys. But I'm also like, you look at different things, like Jay Wright was a huge culture guy. I wish I could be better teaching our guys on like the 2 feet, right? He was huge. Look at what Brunson and Hart are doing now.
Right.
And then there's more like in the moment modern guys that, like, if you watch UConn men's basketball, the staff and I, we share, they run unbelievable offense. Like they're, I know he just stepped down and some people have some disagreements on him, but like Bruce Pearl was big on special situations, like baseline and sideline defense. Yeah. So I'm a big, like, study the game, watch all levels. And then, you just look at it like my dad and my grandfather, both who were gone from us, were people that were valuable in my life, that when it came to sports, both coached me, and they were a big part of my growth and development. And, it just, different people have done different things. I get asked that a lot, like who's the biggest coach to impact. I probably should have a better answer because I'm all over the place, but a bunch of people. And then when it comes to just overall, like high school, I mean, Michael Donnell, who just stepped down as our football coach, right? He retired. He was there for 3 years.
Crazy.
Coached a lot of people. He went through ups and downs. And I get to talk to him every day, get to see him every day. And, times have changed when he first started in the 70s and 80s, but, he's just, when it comes to speaking and being around people and kids, he's been an unbelievable resource and somebody that I've had. So, and, guys in the league, I know I'm in year 11 now, but Jar Vitello was a former B coach, just like myself. George Lopez, guys that have taken me under the wing. Timmy Philp was my freshman basketball coach at Iona. And you go down the list, and I'm always a big believer, and I learned this from Arbs, like, try to help others in your league, get others into national events, get others on a stage, on a platform, help promote the league. I'm a league guy, as much as I want to beat all of them. But went probably 2 minutes too long there, Pooh, but a lot of people have helped me be successful. And my staff, I got a balance, like, Swain a bit older than me, been around, me a bit younger, me OCD and anal, him not OCD and anal, 2 young guys or younger, and Al and Alexis. Al's not that young. I don't know why I said that, but 2 of those guys. But and then and my lower level staff too. So we got a bond. We're together a lot before, after games. Our families are together. We're all family, and you can't. The coaches that think they invented it, like I call those the Naismiths. The Naismiths. I like using that line. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'ma steal it. The Naismiths. That's right.
I call them the Naismiths. The people that think they invented the game, just like the Lombardis in football.
You did it first. Oh, we did it first. No, you didn't.
Those are the ones that why reinvent the wheel on some things. That's why the same drills are being used left and right and different sets. And how do you modify them to what you have?
And Coach, over the years, you've had some incredible performances by so many guys. Like you said, you've had some guys make it all the way to the league. My favorite performance ever was a young Adrian Griffin against Christ the King. I had never seen a kid play better than that in a tough situation. I mean, I don't even think he missed a shot. He was basically perfect. What's kind of some other performances that have really stood out for you kind of over the time? I know you don't want to miss anybody, but maybe some of the top ones, because there's been some really special ones. And then
you talk about AJ. I still have that, like when he was a freshman, that dunk he had, put back, left hand. That was crazy. I mean, you talk about Boogie. He went 15 of 15 to start that game.
Perfect.
In that moment.
Yeah.
Okay? RJ had a 41-point performance. Alan Griffin did some things. Danny, went ahead and we were always on him to score, to pass it. I've seen some special stuff, and the guys that have played for me and us, talk about it all the time. They could probably tell more stories. I don't think this has been a joy. This has been a ride for 10 years now, and a lot of people to thank, but and made it possible and continue to make it possible. But I don't think everything really will hit to whenever the time is done, or move on, or whatever it is, or start losing or winning more, or what, I don't know when the time is. You look back, and I don't throw anything out. So people at work, my wife, my family, my mom, my sisters, I'm a hoarder. So I'll go back and look through articles one day. But Pooh, there's been some special performances of guys like, I start naming some, I'm going to start leaving people out. But we've had some special players, and we've had guys like, even guys like, I go back to like Sam Gibbs, Malcolm Chemezi, these guys that like went on and played and continue to play, and just helped us win. Like they cared about winning. Their families cared about winning. Those people cared about winning. We've had guys go coach in college that were with us, and that's another cool tidbit to have. But you're going to make me now some point this weekend, like research who did what. And I'm going to text you who now are my top 3 or 5, but I'm going to leave somebody out, on that.
Now I'm going to cut off Pooh. One more question too.
Go ahead.
And I know this is pressure, Coach, but I love you. I love putting you on the spot. You talked about it. Do you ever feel any pressure or any maybe opportunity for you to maybe make the jump to college? Was that something that you'd maybe potentially look into? Because I know there's always rumors around you and potentially making the jump.
I heard him.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools that use that to try to tell families to not come to Stepinac. So, and I know who you are. So, a lot that do that. But I'll be honest, and I'm honest with everybody, that I have an unbelievable job at the school. Yeah. I'm the vice president of institutional advancement at Stepinac. I have a great team that I work with every day, in Dennis, Paul, Fred, and Anthony. My boss and Father Collins, right? Paul Carty, our principal. My day job is utterly amazing. What we get to do and impacts, raising dollars for Stepinac as a whole is truly rewarding. It's rewarding. On the basketball side, if I sit here and say I'm going to be Jack Curran and Bobby Hurley and they're, and be here for 30 to 50 years, maybe, right? My wife watching this and my sisters and mom would be like, okay, he's nuts, but maybe. If somebody calls, all right, and is interested in me and my staff, I'm going to listen. And I think that's fair to tell people. I think it's fair to tell prospective student athletes and their families. Has it happened? Yes. Have I left? No. If you don't hear from me, it's not true. So all the negative information is not accurate. And I'll say this too, and guys in our league say it to me. I think college ADs are afraid to hire high school coaches because it's not sexy. Yeah. And all these college ADs care about, and I'm sure this clip will end up on some of their desks, hiring high school guys have gone on to win. And it might not be sexy at that press conference, but high school guys, you know how to do laundry, you know how to do sweep the floor, you know how to plan things, you know how to do things different. And look at the amount of high school guys. I mean, Hurley, UConn, Oates at Alabama. Yeah, Oates. Yep. Those are high school. They were high school coaches, and I'm leaving some out. But so to answer your question, do I have a resume sitting here and flinging it around, looking to go anywhere? No. But if somebody called and was interested, I do myself and my family a disservice to not listen to them. So, but I've gone nowhere in the last 10 years. Have I listened to some opportunities? Yes. And, that's what it's about. And it's the same what I tell my staff, the guys that have gone on to college, if you want to make that jump or can make that jump. And I've talked to guys that I've worked with and others in the league that the grass also is, there might be a little better money, but livelihood and if you're a dad or whatever, you're engaged or you want a certain lifestyle, these guys at the next level, man, they, especially with the landscape of college basketball, it's a different world. It's a different world. So Absolutely. It's sexy, it's sexy, but it's a different world. So we got a high level program right now, thriving at a school that enrollment's through the roof when a lot of enrollment's down. My day job is fun. For people that get to know me, I get to play golf a lot and be with a lot of successful people that makes it fruitful for the school. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and say I'm staying forever. It might be, who knows, and it might not. So, and when the time is, you'll hear it from me. You won't hear it from, and all the people that keep telling prospective parents that.
Get him, coach.
Next question, Pooh.
That's right. That's right. Watch him out. Watch him out, people. Watch him out. Listen, the one thing I do respect out of all the things you said, which is a lot, like you said, they got to take me and my coaching staff. Like a lot of coaches you hear is like me, take me, and you leave everybody else behind. He's like, listen, they got something for me and my coaching staff, then I may consider it, and it has to be right. I think that's so amazing on your part, Coach. What I wanted to ask you is, why do kids feel like they have to leave New York City to be successful?
Look, there's certain situations where kids have to go. All right. It just family dynamic, living situation, neighborhood, people they're around, they got to go. They got to go. But the other ones, I think, are just leaving to say they leave. There's a lot of good basketball in New York. Be really good at where you're at. They're going to find you. They're going to find you if you think, first off, everybody thinks they're going to be a pro. Most likely, you're not going to be a pro. All right. Let's just be honest.
That's
all right.
Right.
We Stepinac, in the last 10 years, we've coached pros, right? We have pros. So top 20 pick, AJ Griffin. His brother Allen had time in the G League and overseas.
Yep.
Joel Soriano's making money playing basketball overseas. Xavier Wilson playing money, making money. RJ Davis, right? Playing professionally. We have other guys that are in Division II and Division III. They're going to play professionally and make money, So not everybody's a pro. Everybody thinks they're a pro. I think everybody leaves because they think, everything's just going to be better where they go. Or, hey, I don't have to go to school for 7 hours. I can only go for 4, and then I can work on my game. Or this or that. How many guys leave New York City, Pooh and Brian, that we don't hear from again? That the coverage in New York, just throw out the newspapers, okay? And my newspaper guys, I still support you. We still buy them. We still support you. So the ones that are still around, thank you, right? But where do we hear about these kids going? And I've always said, I've told coaches in our league, with the whole, different compensation, if a kid came to me and said, hey, it makes sense for me to go take $300,000 to go play in this league or that, how can you compensate that? How can you argue against that? Now, some have turned, Boogie will tell you he turned down plethora of money because he felt short-term money was going to impact long-term money.
Yeah.
But to defend the kids that do go, Pooh, I think coaches got to work harder. I think they gotta do more. I think programs in school have to do more. Leagues have to do more. But my message is why? Why? If you have to, then go. If it's a nasty situation, then go. But if not, define your own, your own success and your own career, and be an alum somewhere. Be an alum at wherever it is, right? Yeah. I know, Pooh, you talk a lot, with Tiny and that crew, and the people you're around, and Brian, out on the island, be an alum of whatever you do, right? Whether you play basketball, football, you're in the play, be a part of something, stay somewhere, be loyal to what it is. And so I don't know what the exact answer is. Some situations I think it makes sense to go, Pooh, but I'm not a big believer in hopping, left and right. Now, I'll even say, some of our guys that are going to go play college basketball, I think should go in the portal in 2 years to go to better situations because they're getting under-recruited. Yeah. Right? So don't hold me to being a devil's advocate on that. But I think and also a lot of kids are running from work. They run from from hard work. And last thing is, coaches, tell the truth to these kids. Tell them what the deal is, and their families, and work with the New York AAU scene. Let's all be together. Let work with the media, work with the AAU, work with the different programs. Be a sounding board of parents. If you don't know the answer, tell them the truth. You don't know. But I mean, I know I didn't even know. Now I know what push by puff looks like. I only knew by the media. Now I could put a face to a name and speak to him, but every day he's breaking news of this person leaving and that person leaving, and it's like, I don't get it. So how about develop, get better, and go be successful, being at the same place.
And I know, Coach, you could just confirm this too. I also think that being loyal at one school, I know it's not for everybody. We talk about it all the time, but it's probably definitely brought in some different coaches to your program, college-wise, that are saying, hey, these guys are loyal, they're sticking around. Maybe I can get them for a couple of years. They're staying around in high school. Maybe they're not just going to, one and done and flip somewhere else after 1 year.
Yeah.
But Coach, you've been unbelievable. You've answered all my questions. Pooh, if you got anything else, I think he's been unbelievable tonight. Really appreciate the time.
No, let's just promote the game that you got going on up in the Westchester County Center.
Yep.
Right. Let's talk about that. The William F. Plunkett Jr. Christmas Classic.
Yep.
So let everybody know what's going on with that.
We wanted to sell out in minutes this year.
Yeah. So William Plunkett Jr., Bill Plunkett. Bill was a huge believer in education, specifically Catholic education. If you knew Bill, he was a powerful individual when it came to multiple things across the state on the legal side. He was a big reason Stepinac is where it is today, and he was our first chairman of the board of trustees when we went independent, 2009, 2010, and put Stepinac from 400 plus kids to where we are today. And he formed the right people around him. So him and a couple other guys. But when Bill passed, Bill was an advocate for me and for us, and it was just, how do we keep his name alive? So he's got a huge family, and that event now in year 2. We had a good crowd last year in year 1, and we've looked at what could we do better, what could we go from there. So we've kind of gone to the CHSAA, PSAL early season model. We got 4 games on Sunday, December 7th at the Westchester County Center. It's going to be unbelievable. From the PSAL side, we have both Eagles, Eagle Bronx and Eagle Brooklyn. Right, we have a Brandeis there, and then Thomas Jefferson. And then from the CHSAA side, we have Iona Prep, Christ the King, Cardinal Hayes, and Stepinac, and 4 big-time matchups. Obviously, the nightcap is a rematch of the New York City game that we had at LIU last year.
What an amazing game. Amazing game.
Yeah, and Bud has done an amazing job. Obviously, Swan back and the different transfers they brought in and the different team. Great early battle for us. And, the county center's kind of like become our second home a little bit there. But credit to those guys and everybody a part of that event, the Plunkett family, the support from all our sponsors, the amount of media interest already. Tickets are going on sale right after Columbus Day. So mid to the end of next week. And we think it's going to be rocking. Pooh and Brian.
Did you send? I gotta check my email. Did you send out the media list already?
Not yet.
Okay.
But the interest is through the roof. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's it'll be a great early season event. And if you love high school hoops, and it's not like we're gonna be, and I'm a diehard Giants fan, but you're not gonna be rooting for the Giants or Jets that day. So come watch some high school basketball on that Sunday. A great venue where the G League Knicks play. Beautiful place to watch a game. Plenty of parking. The Metro North, the bus is right there, and let's come show out for New York basketball and and obviously being a little selfish, hopefully the CHSAA, at least we got to go 3-1 to win the day. Can't go 2-2.
And
Yeah, put it out. Hey, hold on, Coach. Coach, I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, Coach, I'm gonna ask you this on air, so we'll be straight. I know you'll take care of us. Can me and Brian have a seat at the table, because we're gonna be calling all 4 games?
You guys are always welcome. Some other outlets are not. The ones that hate on me, and they know who they are, and they're gonna see this, they're gonna clip it up. As Coach Nunez and Coach Shepard say, we got a seat for you in the rafters behind the pole.
There you go. There you go.
But you guys will not get that one. But Coach Shep is handling all media requests for the haters for that day, and they'll get a seat. They just got to sit up top and not see the court. No.
Oh
yeah. We don't worry about the haters. We know the CHSAA, the Catholic School League, always takes care of me and Brian. First class league, man. So and I'm not to nobody else, but look, we always have a seat at the table in the Catholic School League for sure.
And Stepinac sees everything, man.
I know. Listen, I know. I listen to those locker room talks.
Oh yeah,
especially from last year. Whoa.
The bulletin board is full, people. Trust me.
That's my guy Heck. My guy Hex. He's got the library. So he's got the library. So, but yeah.
The schedule is crazy. Y'all in the city of Palms.
At True Road game at Paul VI, at St. Francis of Baltimore, beat us last year. Montverde in New York City.
Everybody.
Notre Dame out of Cali, #1 player in the country. Jefferson, #1 PSAL school. I mean, I don't like saying this, but like we're not ducking anybody, and we won't duck anybody. So we've been a big believer in scheduling. We think it helps us in the spring, and our fans love it, man. I mean, they love watching us all over the country, and we do receptions before games. We treat this like a college program, and like I said, this has been a pleasure. Look, this went longer than the half hour you three, the 3 of us allocated, but and some cool comments that have come in on the live here, and looking forward. I'm a big fan of what you guys do. If you got 61 episodes, I probably listen to 75 to 80% of them, and I think they continue to help us as an area and a community, and we appreciate all that you guys do, and I think you hit it on the head a little bit, Pooh. My name is on the wins and my name's on the losses, but it's for us. And in this game, right, there's a lot of I, and there could be a lot of I on teams. That's not what we're about. That's not what I'm about. If you've been helpful in making us be successful, I'm about telling people about it and doing the right thing. So hopefully the right thing pays off in the long run. And look, I probably used up all my time. I'll not be invited back until next year. But
you made up for lost time. You made up for lost time. And we call those I guys pirates. I, sir. Hey Pat, we appreciate you, brother. We'll see you soon.
You're the best, Coach. Thank you.
Fellas.
All right.
The best, man. You spoil me every week, man. I'm telling you, Coach.
Hey, listen.
We've wanted him on for so long.
That's right.
He was perfect, and one of the true gems of the Catholic League, and a star. I think he's a superstar. And Pooh, in a couple of years, would not surprise me if he's running a big time college program with that staff, like you talked about.
That's right. You got to take his team. Got to take his team, man.
That was the coolest thing. I'm so happy you noticed that, and that's the type of guy he is. Type of program.
Always welcome. He makes sure, we get the interviews with his players. It could be 1,000 people wanting to talk to him, but he makes sure that he gives time to, us and make sure that we have a seat at the table, man. So we appreciate Pat. Yep, and everything he does.
And shout out Puff too. I mean, Pat and Puff, what a elite episode. Almost 2 hours, man. Incredible.
Who else can get Puff and Pat all at the same time, right? Two extreme areas, but those are High School Basketball Weekly.
Oh, man, incredible stuff. But Pooh, I'm going to see you tomorrow, my man. I cannot wait. Let's go, man. Two incredible games at St. Francis Prep. You better be there.
That's right. We out. High School Basketball Weekly.
Peace.
You know what it is. We out.